And we're back. Got another special guest here. Brought him all the way in from South Carolina. Luckily, he didn't charge us too much, mostly because his parents live 35 seconds away. So we've got Jim Irvine on here.
Glad to be here, boys.
Come on, fellas. Let's do the clap intro. Thank you.
I've been following it on TikTok, and I'm really excited to be here with you guys.
Yeah.
Are you nervous at all? It's just like you're having a conversation, right?
Yeah.
Except you're talking into a mic. This is
just imagine what we
difference.
used to do when I still had my house in Grottoes and Ricky did, and we would just like stay at each other's houses till like 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, drinking and sitting around a table having conversations. Same thing.
Yeah. I remember those nights.
And I post something on social media.
I'm okay with that. Now, I am wanted in a few states, so we got to make sure.
Just a few?
Just a few. So let's just make sure we keep
Post
it away.
Put it like 2 inches away. Like right here.
Right there.
Right there. That sounds great.
Yeah,
you're
going to be like me, and he's got the OCD, so like times I'll be like looking over here, and he's like...
Yeah, dude. You got to keep it like right here.
My bad, dude.
Like you said, so Logan compared it to like early... You listen to Bears?
Of course.
So, like, early Two Bears, like, Bert, talk away from here. You can like, barely hear it. Like, it sounds like the production's just terrible. But now, they learned.
Yeah, I actually just started, I'm all caught up, and I had a pretty good drive. So I was like, I'm going to go back to episode 1 of Two Bears and started that again. And I think I'm on episode 2 now.
It's pretty good.
It is funny that you brought up, like, the difference. Because, like, it's some of the stuff is, like, the same ads, but they read it different. And then, like, I don't know. It is very different to, like, go back and listen to them now compared to listening to them for so long.
But I can't, like, I don't like the episodes where they, like, divide. Like, where, like, Tom's doing something, it's just Bert with, like,
The guest bears?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who they have on.
Yeah.
I've personally, I enjoy the ones with Bert more because he has the energy and he usually has somebody that gets him, like, excited and giggly. And then Tom sometimes has like a scientist. I'm like, I don't know. I skip.
Yeah.
I feel bad, but
yeah. No, and he's entertaining. They crack me up. Bert, we had like this whole motivational speech at how you should never stop drinking.
Yeah.
And Tom was like, well, if somebody like has an issue, like to where you can't just have one drink. He's like, oh, well, I mean, I guess at that point you should probably stop drinking. But if you can just have a vodka and make you feel better, and you can lay off it for like an hour and pour another one, you should keep on drinking. And he's like, yeah, but still, like, some people can't just have one. He was like, oh, I guess you just stop drinking. I was like, do I need to quit drinking?
I think didn't he also like spin it back and go like, you know what? Fuck it, just keep drinking.
Yeah,
like,
that's what he's like, just keep
screw it.
You have to. You have to keep drinking.
Yeah, I think so, dude. But I mean, that's the. I just love the buzz.
Yeah.
Like that's what I trace. I don't like drinking. It's not like I'm like I don't go home. I'm like, you know what? I could use a glass of vodka and soda, or a glass of whiskey and soda. I want like
I want to feel warm and tingly.
Whiskey. Yeah.
You know you're gonna sleep good that night.
And it, like everybody knows. Like when I get to talking a lot, they're like, "Dude, you're buzzing." I'm like, "Yeah, a little bit."
Like at our something that we just had the other night, our 10-year reunion.
Yeah.
A, we're getting old, and B, yeah, you were starting to feel pretty good.
I was.
And then we went to BCB afterwards.
So were you, dude.
It's feeling great.
Was Logan?
Logan was feeling pretty good.
Thank you, dude. Sure. I texted him. I was like, dude, how you feeling this morning? He was like, I'm fine. What about you? I'm like, no big deal. I was like, don't act like you weren't buzzing.
Nah, I didn't hurt. No. I definitely was like empty stomach.
I know Logan's buzzing when he disappears.
Yes.
He disappears. He's talking to everybody.
Wanders around.
I disappear, and you know, like what really tips the scales? If you see me like run or jog from one spot to the next,
yeah.
I'm probably gonna profusely throw up soon afterwards.
I've never noticed that.
Oh, dude,
I've noticed it, but I've never like paid attention to it. I've never been like, oh, he's buzzing.
Yeah, especially. I mean, not as much inside, but like at Alex's house after homecoming that one year, he had people over, and I had a bottle of Jaeger. And I started like sprinting around outside and then running into the basement and then running back and like doing all this crazy stuff. Next thing I know, I'm passed out in the yard. Someone carries me in and puts me on like one of those like pool chairs or whatever. It's like long. I'm just curled up on this thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's not good if I start jogging and running around.
So a small introduction. Me and Jim, I've known you since kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Old Martin.
Oh, dude, Martin,
Was
dude.
it Mike Martin, I think?
I think it was. Yeah, I think
Something,
it was Mike
Mr. Martin. Yeah.
Mr. Martin, dude. Kindergarten. Nap time. You still had nap time in kindergarten.
Dude, nap time was the best.
Yeah.
I could never take naps. But anywho, he had really hot wife. Do you remember that?
I do. That was kind of awkward. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't want to say anything bad about the guy. It's just way out of his league. Way out of his league.
He was like
kudos to him.
he was a heavier set feller.
He kind of had a bowl cut, like not the best haircut style,
just like your average like
but
just
he was
white fat guy. And
then-
he brought in his wife one day. I'll never forget. I was too young to be attracted to anybody, but I was like,
Yeah.
they don't look like they fit together.
That's crazy that was kindergarten. You're like,
Kindergarten.
Oh yeah.
I know
Right,
I
it
don't
was
know how
wild.
to do 1 + 1, but this math definitely didn't add up.
I mean, they
They
made
really
a 10.
didn't.
They made a 10. It's just by their shapes.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude. And I want to say she was not white. She was of a different descent.
Something.
I think she was a hot Latina.
I was thinking Dominican.
Okay.
Or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she was something. I was like, dude, you do not deserve this woman. And he left to go manage like McDonald's or something.
Yeah. 100%.
I was like, dude, McDonald's would be paying very well.
Oh, dude,
For
if
you
you're
to
a
lose your
manager,
summers.
you're
So
making
think
pretty
of the benefits. All the food. I mean, that's
At
probably what
McDonald's?
won him over.
I don't know. Dude, teachers get really good. I was like, okay.
Took him a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to
But no,
put a timer on that edit.
Teachers
See the
really
wires
teachers
finally
really
connect.
do get good benefits. But
do.
the food, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. Good job. God,
Thank you,
damn,
sir.
he's
Thank you,
meant
sir.
for it.
Yeah, because they're
Dude, we always talked about you. Actually, I think you're the one that brought it up. So, like
I've been mentioned a couple times on here. Yeah.
but you know how like Two Bears has like you know, so the guy who
Dude
like,
in the back. Yeah.
you like
big
everybody
ginger.
like laughs in the background.
and I always said that that would be perfect for
He's
me.
Jewish.
That'd be perfect.
I said I wanted you guys to do the show. I'd sit in the back over there with a computer, so you guys would be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's that guy's name?" And I'd Google it real quick. But I got
You're
John F.
kinda-
Kennedy.
You're
know,
kind of like
and-
Jamie
Yeah.
on Joe Rogan, but he doesn't laugh in the background. You barely hear from Jamie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll be crying in the background.
Yes, dude, that'd be
Yeah,
funny.
because that always gives me a harder laugh because it's like it's
When
funny,
people laugh.
but then it breaks that fourth wall,
Yeah.
and then, God, what is his name? It's gonna drive me up a wall. But anyway,
You know,
yeah.
you should have
No,
done
we have to look it up.
when you guys came down to South Carolina. You should have done a pod there. You done a traveling pod, or you guys still can.
know, we
Come
talked
down to
about
South
it. We talked
Carolina and
about
see
it.
me.
We
We
talked
could do
about
one
it.
down there.
When Frick was there longer than 13 hours, then maybe
That's
we
true.
would have been able to. But
I was there for longer than 13 hours.
Drank all of my alcohol and left.
We were only in the house because somebody decided he wanted to go see a Atlanta Braves game. And we dude, let's go drive 12 hours for today.
it's 2.5.
If you want to be technical, Ricky, it was his weekend. So
That's what
feel
I'm
like you
saying.
got
That's
to
why
decide.
nobody said anything. That's why we did it.
And it was
guess.
fucking cool.
It was fun. It was fun.
I wish we were able to get
It was
there.
blistering hot.
because
Yeah.
I know we've been there.
Fact that
5
is.
when we got down there.
I know we've been there. Have you ever been to Atlanta prior to that?
Oh,
Not the
just
baseball
landed.
game.
Just had like a layover. I never
Okay.
actually visited Atlanta.
Got you. And then minus 8th grade field trip. Have you ever been to a professional baseball game?
I've never been to. Like, I never went on those field trips. Remember, I was raised a Jehovah's Witness.
That's right.
You
That's
fuck neck.
Always knocked on my door. Just had to chase him away. Get the
Yeah,
bat.
so I've never been. That was the first professional baseball game I've ever been to. I've never been to. No, that's the first professional
Really?
game
Well,
I've
see,
ever been to.
So,
Yeah.
so it was a good experience for you. It may
It
have
was
been,
very fun.
Yes, it was hot.
It was very fun.
But by the end of the night, the sun went down.
Yeah.
We had cowboy hats and we were drunk and we had a great time.
The biggest like regret that I had was every single night. So we came down. Did we come down Friday? Was
Friday.
it Thursday?
Friday. We went to the game Friday, so it was Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
so we
late
came down Thursday
You
night.
and
You're
Connor
right.
came
So
down Wednesday.
so we all took off Friday. So we came down Thursday night. We stayed up until like 4 a.m. drinking.
Yeah.
And then the guy was supposed to get us a boat, and he backed out. That's why we went to the Atlanta game.
Yeah, no, we were
On that
supposed
Friday.
To, we were supposed to go out on the lake with my buddy, but we had how many people did we have? It was like 13 of us.
Maybe like 10, 12.
Something like that. Yeah.
And, in his boat, I think you're only supposed to have like 7 to 8.
Oh,
So
okay.
You just have to make multiple trips. But then, it turned out that he couldn't go. And I was like, well, heck with this. I'll just rent a boat. We can rent a pontoon, fit all of us on there. But then this guy said he wanted to go down to Atlanta. So we went to Atlanta.
Think about it this way. We actually got to see a little bit of history. So
Yeah.
the NL Cy Young winner? Braves are in the NL, right? Yeah.
Braves in the National League.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we got to see the Cy Young winner because Chris Sale threw that night.
Okay.
So that was the big driving
Was that the
factor.
closer?
In the pitcher.
No, he was a starter.
This is a starting pitcher.
He was with
That was the coolest experience when the closer. I don't watch baseball. The coolest experience was when the closer came out. Like all the lights went.
Yeah, we'll do some crazy stuff for relievers.
Yeah, and then anytime an opposing pitcher comes in, they cut off the lights.
Everyone grabs
uses
their phone.
the phone and
Yeah,
they do the tomahawk
that was
chant.
badass.
Which
And they
I
do
think
the war
that'd be
chant.
cooler if it was our own pitcher.
Well, the whole theory behind it is you're trying to get into the opposing pitcher's head.
Yeah.
You want to psych him out because imagine you already are on a grand stage of playing Major League Baseball,
Yeah.
and you're coming into a place like Atlanta, who has a huge history. So that's already pretty scary enough. But then you're coming out to 80,000 people doing a war chant.
With the
That
lights
might-
off.
that might
and
shake
see
me
your
off,
fucking lights.
I'm in the bullpen. I've got myself in the right state of mind. I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm about to go strike out everybody.
Because you also have to run like
And then
300
everybody's
feet
doing a
to go
war chant.
pitch.
Like, you have 80,000 people doing a war chant to me. It might throw me off my game a little bit.
That was pretty badass.
You know who'd be really cool to come in against the Braves? What was it? Was it Lance Berkman? Wasn't he a pitcher?
Lance Berkman
Who's
was
the
the
guy-
first baseman for the Houston Astros.
It was one of those guys, and he came in the All-Star game from right field, full sprint, and he's like a 240, 250, like 6'4", a heavier set dude. Full sprint, baseball slides into the mound, gets up, and goes in and throws. It was a while ago,
I do remember that happening.
but it was
I don't
funny. I
remember
was
who
like,
it was.
if you had somebody do that in Atlanta, that'd be so freaking cool.
Oh, yeah, after the war chants happened and they just slide up there.
Who
like
has
nothing
the
happened?
best stadium?
That's a great question. See, Logan's been to a lot more stadiums than I have. So I think he's definitely got the better advice on this one.
I've heard. I've heard Atlanta's newest one is pretty.
Yeah,
Pretty
like,
up there.
The newer they are, the better because they make it more entertaining. But because they're like, don't get me and Jim wrong because I know he's a diehard baseball fan too. Baseball is a boring game.
Very boring.
Think
In person, it's more fun.
In
yes.
person is way more fun.
Yes, in person is
Yes.
way better, obviously. But you got to think about it. The best games in baseball are going to be the most boring. Perfect game. The other team doesn't get a fucking hit.
Yeah.
They don't get on base at all.
Yeah.
Because even if they just throw a no-hitter, that's still pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A perfect
but
game.
theoretically, it's a
there's no
boring-ass game.
walks. There's nothing. That means one team just got completely shut out.
Yeah.
So that can be completely boring. But
You're also witnessing history at the
come
same time.
seventh inning, man, you are on the edge of your seat. Is he going to walk this guy? Is he going to strike this guy out? Like, what's going to happen? And that's what makes it more exciting.
One of the
again.
best saves for, I think it was a perfect game, the White Sox back in like 2008 or something like that. What was his name?
You're talking about Galarraga, wherein they did not, they messed up the perfect game in the ninth inning.
No. It was like the last hit of the game or something like that, and line drive to center field. Guy goes back. I think his initials were like DW maybe. Goes back, jumps up at the wall, catches it, comes down off the wall, bobbles it, bare hands and barrel rolls to make that play to save it.
I do remember that, and I feel like I'm gonna be completely wrong. And if this goes on TikTok, they'll be yelling at me. But I feel like that was like Cameron Maben. It was 2000s, but it was someone. It was someone like Cameron Maben, and then like it wasn't a Dimitri Young. But it was someone who's very similar to those type of guys.
Well,
like that type of utility
unlike
outfielder.
me, your phone's in your pocket, so you could definitely look this up already.
I don't want
My
to
phone's
cheat.
recording.
I did not know you were that into baseball. I mean, you're popping out names. I was like, good God.
Yeah, Shoeless Joe Jackson. You know where he's from?
Greenville,
No.
South Carolina.
Where I live, Greenville, South Carolina.
Really?
There's a museum right
Interesting.
beside the Drive Stadium,
That's
which
right.
we went to. I don't think you guys were able to make it when we went down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did go to the Tribe game.
You did able to make that one?
The first
The
night.
minor league game?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
So there's like a little museum right there for
because the Greenville Frog sat in front of Ricky the whole time, and I remember
Yep.
Ricky talking mad crap to him.
Yep. I was like, dude, that dude has to be hot. Whoever's in that mascot uniform, dude, like, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, he was just posted up in front of
That
Ricky
was more
with his
hot
feet
take.
propped up
That
on
was more
another-
interesting. Not interesting. That was more entertaining than the Atlanta Braves game. I'm not gonna lie.
You were correct on the initials. It was Dwayne Wise. Can you name the pitcher?
Once again,
Very famous White Sox pitcher.
once again,
this
heavy,
is
he was like a heavier set pitcher too.
100%.
Can I get the initials?
I'll give you the first one because I feel like if I give it
That's
both, it's
cheating.
give it away. The first initial is an M.
Mark Bueller. Bueller?
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
Mark Burley.
Burley.
Think of like a burly man because he was a big man and he had a beard. Mark Burley.
Yep.
That's the thing is like when you think of White Sox pitchers, I mean obviously I was born in '96, so there's a lot more. But when I think of a White Sox pitcher, Mark Burley is the first guy that comes to my mind.
Back to the stadium question. I'd be interested to hear Jim's. Atlanta's really cool. Pittsburgh, for me, is probably one of my tops because literally there's 3 rivers. And it's like this island. What?
He spilled shit.
I
Nothing,
thought,
man.
I
Keep
thought it was on
talking.
me.
We were
It's just a
laughing.
little drip.
No, we were laughing at you mispronouncing stuff.
Shut up. Anyway, so it's like its own island of the stadium. So it's got hockey, football, basketball, and then it's just like bars, restaurants, stuff you can go just post up at before the game. Then during the game, it's just a beautiful field, and then you walk out and you see the river and the food's good and get some icy light. And it was, I mean, I had a blast every time I've gone to Pittsburgh. So I think that's probably gonna be my top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mine's tough because I feel like he was saying, you got to think about the atmosphere that surrounds the stadium, but also the stadium itself. I'm a diehard Yankees fan. I got to go to the old stadium. I got to go to the new stadium. The new stadium is by far my favorite. It's beautiful. It looks like historic like the old one, but it is up to date. You know, there's not cracks in the concrete anymore. There's nice bars everywhere. So that will always hold a special place in my heart. But there's nothing really to do. You know,
Yeah.
right across the street, there's a Little League field where the old Yankee Stadium was. There'll be some street vendors out there trying to sell you stuff, you know, portraits and stuff that they do. So it's interesting, but that's about it. Atlanta. Atlanta's surrounded by the Battery. Tons of stuff. You know, breweries. They got the...
There's a distillery. There's a music venue. There's
That's what
food,
got me
there's,
about
there's the PBR. They got a
Dude,
bull
that's what I was
riding.
going to say. Dude, when we left, I saw the PBR bar. I was like, oh, my God.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember we went to the one in Virginia Beach
That was a blast.
at Alex's bachelor party. Dude, that was so fun.
I wish we never left. We should have stayed.
I know.
We got there as our group, and we had like a couch and rope, and then a table of like 8 to 10, and then a table of 4. We're like, what the fuck? Because Will's like, hey, I got us VIP. We're like, hell yeah. Like, yeah, so here's the packages you can buy. One bottle
was awesome.
and like a cup of ice is like $500. We're like, no. Rail whiskeys and Cokes, please. And I had our waitress trained that as soon as she saw I was halfway, she'd just look at me and be like nod, come back with another
And this
one.
was in the middle of COVID, too.
Yeah.
And, like, barely anybody was there.
No, but then it got lit when we left.
True. Yeah, true.
I was pissed.
Yeah.
So mad.
What,
Right.
it was very fun. It was very fun. And that's why we did when we walked out. Even Alex, dude, he was like, dude, he's like, we should have left like halfway through the game and toured this. I was, dude, it looked awesome.
Well, that's why I wanted to get down there earlier than what we did. That way
Yeah.
we could have done
Yeah,
that
yeah.
and then gone to the game because, like, afterwards, we still have a 2.5 hour drive.
I just remember I had such a, not to interrupt you, I was like about to talk.
Yeah, you're good.
I had such a fucking piss pain. Dude, on the way down,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And we got stuck in traffic.
Mhm.
I was like, dude, I was in kind of truck. I might piss in this fucking truck. I really might. I was like, dude, like, it literally hurt. And as soon as we pulled into the parking deck, I was like, dude, I don't care who's around. It's happening. It has to happen. Either I piss in this parking deck or I go in there with soiled fucking shorts, which it got soiled in the ass. Anyways,
Everybody's.
because it's fucking hot.
It was like 95 when we left and like 105 when we got down there. it would like go up and then go back down. It's like,
Oh
all right,
my
it won't be that
God.
bad. And as soon as we pull in 105, like, it is 6 o'clock.
That
in the
was
evening.
nuts.
What's going on?
That was nuts.
No, the thing I was going to talk about was the ride down there. I
Yes.
remember passing y'all's truck.
Yeah.
And a certain somebody, doesn't need to be mentioned, decided to...
No, it was me. We talked about it.
Oh, you guys already talked about it?
Are they in the room right now?
We
Yeah.
talked about it.
Yeah, just stuck his whole ass
We've actually talked
out
about
of
it
the
on
window
here.
at me while I'm passing him on the interstate.
Because Nathan, literally, it happened later on. Literally, when we got back to the Airbnb, we were like drinking and chilling. He was like, "Dude, I forgot to tell you, showing your ass, that was hilarious." He was like, "Dude, I fucking was laughing." It's like, well, thank you, dude. That was just normal to me. Like as soon as I saw y'all like trailing, I was like, I'm showing my ass. That was just normal. Like it just happened.
It was a
I
solid
really
group,
wish
Logan
for sure.
I
fell
would have
asleep
let
on
someone...
the way.
Oh, yeah. I really wish I would have let someone get in front of me just like last second so you would have just moved a random family of 4.
That'd have been pretty fucking funny. I mean, and I would have done it. I would have done it because I'm not from the area. It's not like you'll never see me again.
Just
This
because
guy
you're not
from
from
West
there
Virginia.
doesn't mean you won't catch a
Feller
charge.
I did. I was like, dude, what if I did the front end? And I was like, no, just do the ass. I was like, all right, I'll do the ass.
Yeah, that's probably
Boring.
a safer bet.
It wouldn't have been much flapping, but you know.
Another baseball stadium for you to go to, Rick, is Philly. I know you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't call me out on this, but Philly fans suck. All right, they're the worst fans across all sports. But all of their stadiums are right there together, kind of like Pittsburgh. But they're not separated by fancy rivers. They're separated by parking lots. It's not nearly as pretty.
It's literally like a shipping district of like
Yeah.
cargo containers and shit like that. It is sketchier
But
and shit.
the cool thing is right in the middle is a place called Xfinity Live. Did you guys go into Xfinity when you were there?
No, we've done it in DC though.
Okay.
Same basic thing.
Xfinity Live, big open area in the middle, 1,000 TVs. You can go get drinks, hang out wherever. But then there's a bar here, bar here, bar here. There was a bar upstairs, the ones where was it the silent disco is what they call them, where you put on the headphones.
Yeah.
Dude, yes.
I walked up there at first and I was like, what the hell is everybody doing?
What is it?
Because everyone just has the headphones.
this
Yeah, but how
place
do
is
you talk to
ABC
people?
compliant.
I've seen that. How do you talk to
I was
people?
like, this is very quiet up
You
here. Why
go
is
like
everyone dancing?
this.
This is stupid. It is stupid.
Well, it's cool because like all of them have like they'll have the same color lights, so they only play like let's say 4 songs. So there's 4 colors. So then if you're dancing like all crazy and stuff, and then someone's like swing dancing, it's like, oh, they're listening to country and you're listening to
Yeah.
wobble.
Got Billy Bob line dancing in the corner while Logan's over here doing the whip and nay nay.
Yeah.
You're like, obviously 2 different songs.
I will
hopefully.
say that a good one. We went to Baltimore this past year with my cousin who lives up there now, and I think that they've redone some stuff because we were sitting in this 300 section. I felt like I was right on top of the plate, and we had great seats. I was like, this is not bad. We paid like nothing for the tickets, and it was beautiful. Everything about it, I was like, all right, I don't really remember this growing up coming here. It used to be like, I don't know. But
Yeah, they've definitely made
Camden-
advancements.
Camden's been
They've
real-
made some.
yeah.
Y'all keep up with do you know Brianna Chick Pro?
Yeah.
I don't think I do. I'll
Zach
be honest.
Bryan's girlfriend that they just
On
broke
BFF
up.
Spot.
Yeah, okay.
She does a podcast with like Dave Portnoy and the
Yeah.
Josh Richardson or whatever. She posted like a sponsored ad on TikTok today, and I watched it. And she went to her first silent. What y'all call it?
Silent disco,
Disco.
I think is what they're called. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Everyone was just wearing headphones. I was like, how do you talk to people? You can't. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Logan needs a
I
refill.
wasn't going to interrupt.
Well, like, you guys have seen Ted, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Do
absolutely.
you remember the scene where the weird guy who like tries to steal Ted, like he's like at the bar drinking and he's just like awkwardly
Yeah.
dancing? I feel like that's how most of the people dance at the silent discos, and it does freak you out a little bit. They're just like,
Don't worry.
Yeah,
and you're
we
like,
got
what are
it.
you,
You
what are
don't
you
have
listening
to-
to?
Don't worry, we got it. Don't worry.
You don't.
Yeah, I was in the middle of something actually.
You don't
guys are
have
rude.
any. You have no form of communication except for dancing, which is
Learn
weird.
sign language, Ricky. Expand your horizons.
That, what was this? Was that you cracking open a beer? Is that your sign language?
I don't know what was going on.
He went like this.
He's proposing. He's proposing.
No, I'm done with that.
Christ. All right. let's get into it. We've had enough fun.
It's so easy.
Give me your. This came up because the new Black Ops 6 came out, and I was like, man, this is a really good video game.
It is.
Kind of reminds you of
Me and
an
Jim were
old
playing
Call
this
of Duty.
morning.
We were playing. Yeah, I was murking people.
Yeah, yeah.
I did well once.
Give me top 3 video games of all time. I know, and this can go with like mine or Nintendo.
Does it have to be ranked 1, 2, and 3, or I'm just naming my 3 games? Are we going one at a time? Like I need to know the rules here.
One at a time. You name your top 3.
I feel like it's gonna be pretty easy. Number 1 has to be Mario Kart across any platform.
Yeah.
I don't care what it's on. It's amazing.
Double Dash was definitely a game changer. It was like N64 version was top for a long time, and then Double Dash came along.
I was
It's
like, I had Double Dash on the GameCube.
Facts.
Played it religiously.
You can go next.
I'm gonna go with my number 1 of Modern Warfare 2. I remember going over to Johnny Morris's house and
Solid.
on a snow day and just posting up there all day and just going back. It was just us playing each other, but we sat there and played like 14 hours straight.
Yeah.
Dude, so mine, just like the most nostalgic video game that I want to actually play again.
Flappy Bird.
No, that was actually a really good video game.
Subway Surfers.
Those are actually solid picks.
Angry Birds.
Pokemon, like Fire Red and Emerald were great, but I have to go Diamond and Pearl. Diamond and Pearl, like it just came out on the DS. It was like the double screen.
See, I never got to Diamond and Pearl.
Oh, dude, so good.
The Ruby Red,
good.
Sapphire, and
Those are great.
Emerald were like my last ones that I played.
Those are great, but I have to go with Diamond and
I
Pearl.
definitely missed out on that. I wasn't a huge Pokemon guy as a kid. I remember my brothers giving me a freezer bag full of Pokemon cards, and I traded them to Drew Breeden for a handful of WWE action figures.
You know,
I was like, this is so much
That's
better.
what I was about to say.
But I
You're,
was
you're
like-
a big WDV guy.
But I was like, those cards could be worth something now. I mean, I see
Dude.
how much they go for, and I'm
That's
like,
what sucks.
"Man, I could have traded in like $1 million for a Kane action
That's
figure.
what sucks, dude.
But the Kane wasn't wearing a mask. All right, so it was like the first Kane without a mask. It was cool.
That's crazy.
Um,
All right, you got number 2.
Number 2, got to go with Spyro the Dragon. I loved Spyro games.
I couldn't
Solid
figure those
pick.
out. I only had one, and I don't think I made it
You
very
couldn't
far.
do.
No.
I even bought the remastered version for the PS5 just so I could go back and replay
Really?
Spyro. Like I love
Damn.
Spyro.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
Something similar, but Ratchet and Clank.
Okay.
My sister got me the like redone version for PS5, and I was playing it. And I was like, dude, I already know all the like the first like 5 levels were the exact same as the
Yeah.
very first one, which came out like forever ago. And I'm sitting there like, all right, I just go over here, I do this, kill this person, I go over here and I do this, and then all right, and move on to the next button. It's
Yep.
like, dude, it's literally the same.
My number 2 is the same like I already mentioned. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The original OG. Dude, it's so badass. Dude, the earlier Call of Duties, especially like online. Oh fuck! I should have.
I never played them online.
I changed my number 2.
I don't know if you can do that.
Can I not
Is
change
that
my number
against-
2?
Well, I think we got to check with
Approved.
the panel.
Approved.
The
Panel.
panel says it's okay.
Okay. Halo 3.
Interesting.
Halo 3.
Never got into Halo.
Are you serious? Did you
Hold
ever
on.
play Halo?
Did we check with Chuck Norris?
Chuck,
Norris?
he gave the thumbs up.
Okay.
Great movie reference. Logan's not a big movie guy, so when he brings one out, it's normally a good one. I will say that.
Halo 3. That's gotta be on the list. I don't even know why I didn't think about it.
Halo was great.
Dude, the
Don't
Halo
get me
3
wrong.
multiplayer was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well, see-
were you never a big Halo guy?
No, so my problem is I grew up very lucky. I always had a PlayStation and an Xbox. You know, I had the PS3 and the 360. I had the PS4 and the Xbox One. So I always played Halo and Destiny. And honestly, I think I gravitated more towards Destiny over Halo.
Destiny?
But
Destiny was good.
Halo was a great Xbox only game. Like it was,
You're right.
if I was on the Xbox, I was playing Halo. No doubt about it. Or Call of Duty.
But PlayStation had God of War.
PlayStation had God
was
of
badass.
War and Destiny, and so
God
I
of
always
War badass.
gravitated more, and like that's why I just have the PS5 now. I was
Sure.
like, you know what, I'm a PlayStation
That's fair.
guy.
That's fair.
But,
What's your,
but yeah, Halo's definitely not a bad game. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong.
great.
I feel like most people would have Halo as like a number 1 game,
Yes.
especially of our
a
generation.
lot of people.
So that's not bad. For my number 3, this is hard because I love Call of Duty. I love the shooter games. I liked Assassin's Creed a lot growing up. I liked Duck Hunter on the Nintendo.
with the gun.
I played that all the time. Street Fighter, a lot of the old games. But I've already mentioned it. I am a WWE fan, so I would be crazy not to put it on here. And I'd have to say the SmackDown versus Raw series. It was 2005 through,
I knew it
I
was
believe,
coming.
2009 was the SmackDown versus Raw series.
I knew it was coming.
There was a couple games that's like, but for the most part, every game was straight fire.
Dude, it was so good. Dude, I remember.
Some of the
I remember
best storylines.
I remember when I was young. Yes, I remember when I was young, and like, dude, you like walked into. I think it was SmackDown versus Raw, and you walked into like the back locker room, like, oh man, oh my gosh, she was so hot. Stacy
Stacy Keibler.
was like waiting in the locker room for you, and you like hopped in the shower, and then that's like cutscene. I was like, what happened?
Ricky, there's kids.
Yeah,
watching
I'm
this. Come
young.
on, calm down.
I was like, what's going on?
Doesn't even know what to do with it, but it's there.
I didn't. I was like, why are they in the shower? But dude, it was so fucking awesome. Dude, I knew you were gonna bring that up. I'm so glad you did.
I had to.
So glad you did. Because those are great fucking games. Not to interrupt. Have you tried the 2K ones?
I have. So I have, still to this day, like I don't really watch wrestling as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I pay for Peacock, so every once in a while I'll watch one of the pay-per-views. Like I'll watch the big ones, like the Royal Rumble or the WrestleMania. But I don't really watch the weekly stuff. But I still buy 2K every single year.
Really?
Just because I love playing wrestling games.
Yeah.
Like I might not watch
They're
it,
fun.
but I enjoy fighting.
They're fun.
The new one, or the past two, really, they brought back GM mode, which is a cool feature where
Yeah, that was cool.
you get to be the host of the show. You get to draft a roster, you pick the matches, and you're competing against another person who's hosting their show.
Yeah.
So it gives you something to fight for, and like it's just cool stuff like that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Number 3.
Go Caps! Caps just won in overtime.
Word. I mean, there's stuff I could go with. I want to go with a GTA franchise,
GTA is good.
but
Very good.
since it came back this year, and I just prefer it so much more than Madden, I'm going with NCAA football.
Ooh.
Solid.
Because I had like
Good pick.
2009 was the last one I had, and then you'd sit there and grind on that forever, and then
Good
it
pick.
disappears, and you're like, well, shit.
I was like, now I picked the SmackDown vs. Raw series, which technically should be illegal. But
Yeah.
if you had to pick an NCAA game, because you've played the new one,
I've really enjoyed the new
which one do you think would you pick of all the?
I'd go with the
NCAA?
new one.
You think you would go with the new
Yeah, I
one?
mean the graphics are so much better than the
good.
PlayStation 2 in 2009.
Facts.
So like you
fair.
have like Madden always seemed to have better graphics. So you have like that visual, but like the gameplay, the way it's set up, I prefer that over Madden.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I haven't bought the new Madden yet because of how much I love NCAA. Now,
I have
I know,
no intentions
Dude,
on buying this.
I know
The
you
new
can
Madden
link
is so
them.
hard.
Well, you can link them
So
together. So like you do your road to glory, you get drafted, you can upload that guy to Madden and then play with him on Madden, which is awesome. But NCAA is so good. I'm like, this is my football game. I don't
Plus,
need Madden anymore.
if you move it from NCAA where all your buttons are one thing, is it going to keep the Madden way where it's not the exact same? Like sprint is X versus like the fucking trigger or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to
I'm sure you can
if it's gonna-
finagle it.
if it's going to progress, it should stay the same.
Yeah.
Because you can't be like, oh, I'm going number 1 overall. Hell yeah. And everything's different and you just get dogged.
Yeah.
Well, you'd go to the Jets anyways, and you'd get dogged no matter what.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
My number 3 is NBA 2K12.
I knew he was going to pick an NBA game.
You got to pick
You're
2K,
always the
dude.
basketball guy.
You got to pick 2K, dude. 2K12 had the Jordan the cover. I think it had like the Jordan experience, like where you play each of his like milestones, and then the My Player that year was insane.
I
So it's
never
a great game.
Had 2K until 14, I think.
2K14 was
Maybe. It was either 14 or 18.
So I feel like 2K storylines were always so great. And then
Yes.
here lately, I feel like I haven't liked them as much.
I
Like
don't.
as like the 12 and the 13s and 14, like those were great years of storylines.
I skip everything now and just get straight to the build My
Yep.
Player.
That's all you. That's all.
I
you
mean
can
that's
do.
just yeah, and
know you
like
could do that.
like none of the you can like none of the like even the animations are terrible in the regular story now. Like for My Player.
Now, I don't always play a lot of basketball, so I could be wrong. But my most recent one was last year's game. I don't have this one with Tatum on the cover, but I liked how they brought it to where when you do like a franchise with your buddies, you can pick an era. And I don't know how long they've been doing that, but I thought that was really cool because like they called it the LeBron era, and it was the early 2000s, and I'm drafting like Vince Carter and
Jason
Carmelo
Kidd.
Anthony, yeah. And I was like, these are the guys I grew up watching, so it's cool that I can draft them, and it's prime. Like, they're 89 overall, 96 overall. Not Vince Carter in 2014 when he's like a 77 overall.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Vince Carter was nasty though.
Yeah.
I love
He was
me some
fucking
Vince.
nasty.
Yeah.
He was fucking
yeah.
nasty. Hey, y'all keep it going. I'm gonna
the
turn
bucket.
up the. I'm gonna turn on the other heater. Is it getting cold for y'all? Anybody?
Yeah, you can turn it on.
I
if you want,
mean,
done.
I'm wearing shorts, but I feel perfectly fine.
Yeah. I was thinking about you.
I feel fine.
You good?
I mean, if you want to go ahead and turn it on, turn it on.
I mean,
I'm not cold, but I can like feel it starting to set
Y'all
in.
keep it going,
Ricky's
and then,
cold.
and then for our
Yeah,
next
talking
one,
about-
I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna let it low too. We'll watch the new Lilo and Stitch trailer.
Okay.
Ooh,
We can post that.
great, because I do want to talk about that, actually.
So I'm interested for you because like you're back up here. Obviously, it's colder up here than South Carolina.
Yes.
I used to not like since moving back. It's been a little over a year now, but like as soon as it got to like 50, I was cold. Like it was like they always talk about like your blood like becomes thinner if you go like you live in Florida for a couple years and live in warmer climates, and then like I had a kid when I went to EMU. He was from Minnesota, and he'd be in like the $1 Old Navy flip flops that like fall apart after 5 wears, and shorts and a t-shirt, and it'd be sub freezing and snowing.
Yeah.
And he's just walking around like it's nothing. We're all in like big jackets and shit. But like since moving back, I feel like I just get cold all the time. So I was just wondering if
Yeah,
like
it's all, I don't know the science behind it. Like you talk about blood thinning and all that. That's definitely above my pay grade. But
fair.
I will say, like, when I lived here, 25 years of it, there'd be 2 feet of snow on the ground, and I'd be wearing shorts outside, and I was like, nah, I'm fine. I was that guy. Moved to South Carolina where it's hot all the time. I'm golfing in December and
Yeah.
January. Like, I love it. It's so
I miss
great.
that.
So when I was packing to come up here, I had talked to some people, and they were like, "Oh, well, be careful. It's gonna be cold." And I was like, I walked around in shorts in the snow. I'm fine. The only pair of pants I packed for this whole weekend was a pair of sweatpants. I was like, I might get cold at night when I go
Dude,
to
sweat's
bed.
the way to go.
And so I packed one pair of sweatpants, and then everything else is shorts. When I walked out of my house today to come here, I was like, damn, I should have brought some blue jeans.
Okay.
Dude,
And
especially in the
it
teens.
definitely
like,
feels colder in Virginia than it did when I lived here.
oh yeah,
Maybe it's climate change.
Bum bum.
dude, that's exactly what it is.
And welcoming our next guest, Joe Rogan. Come on in, buddy. Followed in with Al Gore.
That is exactly what would blow us up. That's what we need. We need like a fucking famous ass guest.
Like I told you, I mean, I have a list of pretty good ones, like Megan Good, All-American, Ryan, the punter for JMU. I don't know, I got a bunch of good ones.
Yeah, but like if I were like
My cousin pitched in the major leagues.
if something were to
for them.
come from this, like if somehow we blew up and I had the chance to change other people's lives, I would do it. I would go to somebody's random ass shed
Yeah.
in fucking Virginia
Yeah.
and fucking do it so they can clip it and then give them a following.
Maybe not a random shed in Virginia. Virginia's can be sketchy at times.
This is a random ass shed.
Yeah, but maybe pick like a random shed in like a safer state. I don't know.
Safer. That's
I
pretty
think
damn safe.
Virginia's
Like
pretty safe.
Vermont.
Yeah. Vermont, yeah. And then no, Delaware. Delaware is
Yeah.
where Biden's from.
Mm-hmm.
Biden. Jim Biden.
Jim.
Brandon.
Dude, we
That's
like Joe. Dude, Joe's changed a lot. Joe's changed a lot since
Dude,
since
I don't know. I'm
First
sure.
meeting with him, he's grinning ear to ear, shaking his head like, hell yeah.
like, dude.
I'm
He's like, dude, fucking thank you for getting that crazy bitch off my back.
It makes you wonder, like, if she would have won, if he would have just been in all the pictures, like, just like sourpuss the whole time. Like,
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, dude.
Stone cold.
There are conspiracy theories running around, like whether he's really a Trump supporter.
Well,
or
and so
not.
that's the thing I was about to say was my new favorite trend on TikTok is where they're mashing together like a Transformers ending with Joe Biden.
so a shitload of explosions.
Well, no. So where it's like, oh, who did you vote for, Joe? Whatever. And Joe's like walking off camera and he stops and like turns and looks back and smiles and then it just starts playing music like how every Transformers movie ended.
Yeah, oh my god,
Every
directed
single-
by Michael Bay.
Yeah,
I
it
love
always
it.
ended like
I
that.
love
Or
it.
like someone's like knocked down on the ground. You see a hand flinch, and it's like bam, music. Michael Bay. Tune in next year.
I love it. I love it.
And like that's the new thing going around with Biden is like they They make whatever caption they want, but it's Biden walking away from the stage, and he stops and turns slowly and just gives that little smirk, and then it's like, bam, Michael Bay.
We need to make an edit and be like, you gonna go listen to the new Shed Sessions?
Dude, that's a good one. We should do that.
That's solid. That's gold.
But the thing about TikTok is if you don't hit it like right there when it's blowing up, it won't fucking do it.
And you're just a follower.
Yeah.
A lot of followers have blown up.
I want to do. You remember the Morgan Wallen walkout thing? Yeah. Where everybody's like doing like licking there and then like doing the Morgan Wallen walkout. I want to do that to the podcast, but we lost our chance. It's done now. By the way, that was dead, so it's not working.
Okay.
We have to blow that. It's 60 degrees here. It's fine.
I know CPR.
Congratulations.
I mean, you said it's dead. Do you want me to jump into action? I feel like I have an obligation to step up.
Yeah, make sure you slurp up as much kerosene fumes as you possibly can when you're doing your breaths.
You were saying we got too cold. I'm like, cool, yeah. I don't think CPR.
Yeah, in case you guys ever need a CPR certified person for the podcast, I'm your guy.
We need to just bring Jim on and let him edit from South Carolina and just hook him up with the Google Drive.
Dude, I
do have
wish.
Google.
I wish. That'd be sick.
My computer has Google. It came already on there.
Okay. So you want to become our editor? We'll pay you $10 a month.
Fuck, that's more than I get paid.
I prefer.
I get paid.
I prefer alcohol. If you could make that switch.
Oh, fucking absolutely.
I gave you a bottle of Crown.
Yeah, but it's all the way over there.
I can fix that
go
real
get
quick.
that. Go get that for the guy. He needs a fucking shot. He was nervous coming on. I could tell.
I didn't.
Yeah, the first thing he asked me when I text him, be like, "Hey, you want to come on?" He's like, "Is there anything I need to know?" I'm like, "Nah."
Well, I mean,
we drink in a shed and talk into microphones.
Which is what it looks like. But then every once in a while, you guys seem like you're both on the same page on the topic, and I was like, "Did these motherfuckers study?"
No, we are
before they do
not.
this?
Sometimes I'll text them like the top 3 video games. I did text them that, but we.
More times than none, it's us just happen to put the same notes into, like, I have notes on my iPad, which I don't even have on my lap right now. But we'll just have notes, and our notes will overlap. So then we can both hit it pretty strong, and it looks like we have it planned, but we don't. Makes it more fun.
I'm trying to find my Makita fully charged battery. It's a Makita. You're good. It's turned on. Yeah, it's a Makita. I like Milwaukee, but dude, Makita's just different. Like I like cheap. Coming up and it's like it's not cheap at all. You fuck. Fuck you. You're cheap.
I'm a Milwaukee guy mostly because I just sell it, so I know that if something goes wrong, I can get it fixed pretty easily.
All right, here she's pulled up.
So have you already seen this?
Have you seen it?
No, I don't think so.
Have you seen the Lilo and Stitch trailer?
Of course.
Have you seen it?
I'm a
don't think
huge
so.
Disney guy.
Well, let's fucking watch it.
Well,
Plug and play, baby.
It's really not much of a trailer.
are you going to hit play, or are we just going to stare at a black screen with a play button?
Hold on to that for me.
Yeah, love to. No, I've seen that water before.
Yeah, I've seen one. It looks like Moana.
Is that Masanui? Nope,
That's what, yeah.
That's Florida.
Yes. Our dude is back.
That's it.
That was it?
That's literally it.
No, seriously.
May 2025. That was it.
I thought there was more.
That was it.
Then I probably have seen it. I didn't think it was going to be that. I thought there was going to be more to
That's just a
it.
teaser. That's just a teaser for it.
I am glad that
It's
they
just
didn't.
a teacher trailer.
I'm very happy that they didn't fuck up Stitch like what they did for Sonic. You remember the first Sonic?
Oh, my God.
It looked so bad, and then they're like, "Yeah,
So
we
bad.
remastered it, and it looks spot on." I was like, "All right, yeah, that makes sense."
Well, what's
So
funny
it's-
is, I don't know if you guys seen the live-action Chip and Dale's movie, The Rescue Rangers,
I don't think so.
but they put the old, like the first version of Sonic in there and made jokes about it being in there. Because
Really?
it's all Disney, and I was like, that's hilarious.
That's
At least they can own up to their mistakes.
Yeah.
So
it was
I do
bad.
research when I do these kind of things.
Of course.
So the live
Research
action, the live action girl, I think
Lilo?
she's like 7. I literally think she's like 7. I don't know. Let's fact check that. Anyways, the girl that's playing Lilo is named Maya Kealoha. I think they did a pretty good job
Yeah.
for
They do.
live for I'm doing that.
No.
And then Nani is Sydney. Not even gonna
Sweeney.
not even not even gonna try to pronounce it. Agudong is what I would say. I'm
Okay.
probably gonna cut that out. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Who plays
Here's
the
the-
big
She's gonna
CIA
have to.
guy?
She's gonna have to dye her hair
Here's
black.
the one that got me.
The Rock.
Zach Galifianakis is playing Jumbo.
Yo,
That's gonna
that's
be
fire.
amazing.
That's
gonna be
good.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about that.
So he's not the big CIA guy, but
know.
he's Jumbo. I
wanna-
don't know
I
who
wanna-
plays the big CIA guy. I haven't done that.
I'd be interested who would play Peakley. You needed like a really skinny, scrawny,
Yeah.
annoying person.
But that trailer looked like,
Tanner?
of course it's live action, but it looked very, very still animated to me. I don't know.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean that part, yeah, because
to
Stitch.
talk on that, I'm glad you brought this up because I was telling Logan about this earlier when we went on our little journey. Do you remember? You got to think back when the first Lilo and Stitch movie came out. They dropped advertisements where where Stitch hijacked other movies.
Yes.
Like there's the Beauty and the Beast ballroom dancing scene, and he makes a chandelier crash. Or there's he pulls up in his spaceship beside Aladdin and winks over at Jasmine. You know, well, movie poster that they released is this right here.
A Kakamora.
That is Stitch. I'll show the camera with the angry coconut from Moana.
Send me that, please.
What's the name? Rick?
And so,
Just for editing purposes.
yeah. And so
Kakamora. Dude, have
And
you seen
so-
the Moana?
people are now
Make it follow
thinking,
along.
are they going to do that again? Are they going to do live action crossovers to support this movie like they did in the original?
That would be
Which I
badass.
think they absolutely have to. It'll be a miss if they don't.
Dude, that'd be badass. Have y'all seen the Moana 2 trailer? We're not gonna watch it here because
yeah, I
out
plan
today.
on.
Seen it.
I plan
I
on
need to go
going to
see the
see
movie.
that like probably next week when I get back down to South Carolina.
Dude, Moana was like Kaka, and there was like a pussy ass fucking wayfinder in the back. He goes, and like passed out. I was like, that's hype, dude. Dude, Moana 2 is gonna be so fucking badass.
I think so. too.
One crazy theory. Talk about Moana. I just seen it today actually.
She's transgender.
No, there's a theory
That was a theory.
that she's not the daughter of the chief, but she's actually the long lost daughter of Maui, the demigod.
Which would make sense because she can control the water or whatever.
Because there's that, but then also they say that just the characters kind of look alike too in the face. I was like, I don't know.
They do.
I feel like I would need a little bit more evidence before I would just jump on that boat.
You give it
Yeah,
like
but
Because
Maui-
her
20 years, they might come out with
grandmother
that.
could control water too.
Yeah, but Maui was
So are
gone for
you
1,000
saying-
years.
That's what I'm saying. And her grandmother controlled water. Are you saying Maui hooked up with her grandma? And like they just got
Possible.
it in the bloodline or something?
Her
How
grandma
was-
turned into a manta ray, so
I mean, it's true. But she was dead.
um,
Maui has a staff that does it when he's alive.
I mean it's not a staff.
Was
it's
it,
a
a,
giant
it
hook.
wasn't a manta ray.
No, it was. It was a manta ray.
Stingray, manta ray.
A manta ray
Same
is
thing?
larger than a stingray, and a manta ray doesn't have the barb.
Which
And
one?
It was a,
which
it was
one
a manta
killed?
ray.
Which one killed Irwin?
That was a stingray.
Bastards. We need to get him.
It didn't even kill him. He killed himself. He's like, oh, there's no barb in my chest. Let me just yank it
And
out.
then yanked it out. Yeah.
Nah, he had an accent. Dude
Didn't
with an
his
accent.
son? Didn't his son like?
His son's taking over.
His son,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
son's-
He's
and
doing really good.
his-
Robert.
his son,
Robert
sister, and mom. The family's taking it over.
So
yeah.
That's wild.
Robert's kind of been like the Steve in essence of
Yeah.
everything now, and then the other two are kind of like what his wife was.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything that I've seen on him, he's doing really. I mean, it's. I remember watching Steve Irwin before going to school in like 4th and 5th grade. It just happened to be on Animal Planet when I turned on the TV or whatever, and he's crikey and all this shit, and I'm like, yeah, and I just sit there and watch it. And now when I watch Robert, he's like the exact same. It's awesome.
Different childhoods. When I woke up, the first thing that was on my TV was always Fresh Prince. And I was like, why is Fresh
Me
Prince on at
too.
like 6 o'clock in the morning?
Me too.
But I didn't argue.
Every time I stayed
watched
at
it.
Bryce's house was Fresh Prince.
Dude, Fresh Prince was so fucking awesome.
So like you wake up to go to school, it's Fresh Prince. But you wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, what's on?
George Lopez.
George Lopez.
George Lopez.
Always. The
Always,
damn
dude.
Lowrider song, man. Always.
Cartoon
Dude,
Network.
and then jumping up and down the fucking trampoline in slow motion. God, such a hit though, dude.
Yes.
I would not say up Carmen. Carmen had my heart for a while, dude. Until I grew up. But dude, still, dude. I'm telling you. And then she started dating
And the
that like
mom.
hot baseball
saying,
player.
let's say, what about the
Oh
mom?
my god, the mom.
Let's not just say Carmen. The mom was pretty good.
Why not forget about the mom?
I'm gonna use the door real quick.
Yeah, you're fine. And then I got another thing. I got another thing that I know is gonna excite the fuck out of both of you, but you probably already know. But we're gonna do it.
I'm running around at work. You're
I ran around at work. He sits at the counter and waits for old men to come in on their tractors and say, I need 250 feet of Romex for my barn.
yeah,
I
if
know
it's
it's
a poultry
true.
house.
I know it's true because he sent me videos of tractors rolling up to the front doors.
Oh, we've had tractors. We've had Mennonites on bikes get 8-foot glass tubes, like the fluorescent
Goodness.
tubes. They like somehow rig it up on the side. We've had those, and they're like, "Yeah, just put it in the bucket of the tractor." I'm like, if you go over a bump, you're like, it'll be fine.
Now, have you
if
ever
it breaks, I'll be back.
You ever had any horse and buggies? I know this is Mennonite country up here.
Personally, no. It's usually bikes, or they can drive like tractors and stuff, so they'll drive that.
Okay.
Up. We have had a drunk guy that it was like the middle of the summer, and he rode his bike. He lived in the neighborhood back behind like the church that's right there, and went up to the ABC store beside the Walmart. Was coming back, put his kickstand down, had a brown bag in his little basket on the front, and
Living
decided
life.
to take a nap right there.
Yeah, living
So
life to the fullest.
Then branch manager had to call the law. Like, they went up and checked on him, like, hey, you good? And then he was like, obviously slurring or whatever. They came over. They brought a rollback tow truck for his bicycle. So it's literally like 16 feet long with a bicycle sitting in the middle of it. They're like, yeah, he just lives right over here. We'll take him home. We got it. We're like, okay. So we've had that drunk, and we've had a guy on meth.
I mean, the dude just sounded tired. You should have let him take a nap.
How do you know somebody?
I didn't do it.
I know how you know somebody's on meth, but how do you know somebody's on meth?
So this guy pulled in, and he's pulling in straight, but
Must have
somehow
been.
in his Honda Civic he was still crooked. So he comes in, and I was at my old spot on the counter, and Mike was helping him out. He's wearing jeans and a belt, and I saw this man take his jeans, still in his boxers, to his ankles, scratch every inch of his legs, and pull his pants back up like that. And I was like, what the fuck?
You know, sometimes you just got them itchies. that
Right,
You got to
he-
get.
he-
Yeah.
Yeah, itchies.
That is. I don't think you're on meth when that happens. I think.
That's bad.
Nah, he was on some shit. And let me get to the end of it. So
I think that's the end of meth.
So-
I don't know. I've never done meth, so.
Yeah, but you sound like you know a lot about meth, Rick.
You know, Shenandoah is like the meth capital.
it used
Well,
to be
I
Elkton.
know Elkton used to be. I
Maybe
didn't
it's
know.
Elkton.
I didn't know it was the
But,
county.
but we
now.
live very, very, very closely to the meth capital of the East Coast.
So anyway,
We got some Walter Whites running around.
Mike
this
took his
motherfucker.
time in the back. One of our customers was there. He's the one that called the law on the guy. The cops pull up, and he was in his, like I said, a Honda Civic, but he was like up on the dash. There's not a lot of room on a Honda Civic dash, but he was like up on there, like going through his car, doing all this like spastic shit. And they're like, hey, can we talk to you? I'm inside watching. He's like, oh, yeah. We're like, do you have anything on you? This is. He's like, oh, no. And like reaches in his pockets like they're down to his knees, and they're just standard jeans, but he's like elbow deep in his pocket somehow. And he's like, yeah, I don't have anything, see? And then like grabs a little pipe of some sort, tosses it, and he's like, yeah, I don't have anything. And then you see a pipe go flying, and you hear clink, 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 clink. They're like, what's that? I don't know. That was there when I got here. They're like, we just saw it
Just witnessed
get
that.
tossed from you. But yeah, what I heard was meth. But yeah, it was wild.
Is a wild. I've had some encounters with people on meth. It's a wild drug. Wild drug.
Yeah, I played softball against a couple guys, and they were actually twin brothers. And there'd be like weekends where like it didn't matter where you hit in the outfield, like the guy was getting there.
Oh.
Didn't matter where you hit it, like the other guy was pitching, and he'd snap you off like crazy shit. And then like after 2 days, when they're starting to come down, you see a whole difference, and you're like, you were on some shit the other day.
So we're all big Suits fans, right?
Yeah.
Suits.
Okay.
Suits.
For starters,
Suits,
let's just say
Suits.
this. I started the Suits before it was anywhere in the top 10 on Netflix. And I got this guy on it.
Before
who
it was
then-
anywhere,
Got me on
before it was anywhere top 10 on Netflix. Continue.
Who then got you on it after it was top 10 on Netflix.
So we love Suits.
So, yeah, I think we
We
like
love
Suits.
Suits. We love Suits. We love Suits. Suits LA is coming out very, very soon. Harvey Specter is supposed to make a 3-episode appearance.
It's
I
not
knew he
enough.
would.
Not enough.
I knew he would, but they couldn't take the whole cast out there.
I don't want the whole cast.
That'd be
I
badass.
just want Harvey.
No, dude.
Everyone else could fall
I
off
want
a cliff.
Mike. I want
want
Mike.
I want Harvey.
And Donna? Are you kidding? Come on,
I
dude.
want Donna for different reasons. It's not involving a TV show. Let's put it that way.
Preach.
So once you remember what you said, once you see the edit of that, you'll be like, You'll be glad I edited out most of it.
No, keep it.
It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny.
I like
Anywho.
I like leaving shit in.
Dude, I know he does, but like for the short form content,
Yeah.
it's just fun to see like the transformation. I know. I don't know why I'm doing that. I've been watching Trump too much. I know it's bad. It's bad.
It's gonna be the best.
Buchanan.
It's gonna be
It's
the
bad.
best TikToks of any podcast you've ever seen. All right, they're gonna be bigly and they're gonna be greatly. We're gonna do them. All right, and China's paying.
So, Mr. President, I'm glad you showed up here today.
Good.
So, what are your thoughts on being on the podcast so far? We're glad that you made the trip down from DC, and you're just hanging out in a shed with us.
I've been on better podcasts. All right, I've been on the best of them. This one's up there, I will say, but I've been on better. Okay, Joe Biden wouldn't come to a podcast like this. He's afraid of Virginia.
What about Kamala? What about Kamala?
Kamala's even more afraid of Virginia, okay? Let me tell you, they have guns in Virginia. I like the guns. They don't. They're afraid of the guns. But I like Virginia. But the podcast, it could be better. I've been on better podcasts.
So, what can we do on this podcast to make it better?
It's got to be bigger. It's got to be bigger. I need gold on the ceiling, all right? Where's the guns? All right, we're talking about Virginia. Where's the guns? I thought you guys drank moonshine here. Where's the moonshine? I'm seeing this. That's not moonshine.
It is hard to get. Sorry, we only brought you the Canadian whiskey and Texas
Canadians,
vodka.
they need to pay more taxes to us. They don't pay enough. They don't pay enough taxes to the United States.
But we're introducing a 25% tariff on Canada.
Ricky, you got to
And
address him.
Mexico.
He's the president. Mr.
Mexico.
President, I'm sorry for him.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Thank you.
President.
Thank
But we
you.
are introducing a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, we need more money.
was
from
your
them.
idea. It
They're
was your
not.
idea.
They're not paying us enough. Okay.
Okay.
I need 2 more Trump towers in New York. Okay. The one's not enough. That's not big enough. I need 3
Okay.
more. Okay. So Canada's going to pay for it, and they're going to like it. All right. We're going to have Trudeau or whatever his French name is, and he's going to come down and he's going to love it. He's going to love Trump Tower. I'm going to take him out. We're going to have oysters. He likes oysters. I know that. I'll talk to him. All right. And then I'm going to invite Putin over here, all right? Because Putin, you know what? Funny thing about him, no one else knows this. Putin likes oysters, okay? So we're going to have oysters at Trump Tower, all right? But Canada's going to pay for it.
I'm interested. Where do you source these specific oysters? Is there like, are they freshwater,
Are you still
saltwater?
talking to Trump?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Mr. President.
The oysters, they come from the deepest parts of the ocean, all right? Because we only get the best oysters. Okay?
Frankly, the deepest.
The deepest. All right? People say that they don't know how deep the ocean is. Well, I do, because we got the oysters from the deepest parts. Okay? They are the sweetest, but they're the saltiest at the same time. All right? It's literally the best combination you could ever think of because I found it.
Oh my God, that's so good. Oh my God.
Well, Mr.
How
President.
have I never heard your Trump impression? That was phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't really feel like I do it that often. I feel like
No, that was good. Like,
feel like
the
He's more of a Borat guy.
I'm saying
That was so good.
Borat's
He made
the one I normally
a
do.
bet. And
Zen.
Oh, I was like, is there someone outside?
I was
the
scared
window?
as shit. I was like, yeah, sorry, Mr. President, we don't have any guns in here. No, but he did like a Borat impression for like 2.5, 3 hours one night.
It was a good 4 hours.
It was,
because
and he crushed it. So I knew as soon as he got on the Trump one, I was like, let's go.
the Borat came along. We were at Logan's house pre-gaming to then go to just his neighbor's house to party.
Yeah.
And I said something in the Borat voice, and my friend Megan that was there, me and her were going to a baseball game the next day, and she goes, "If you talk like Borat for the rest of the night, I'll buy anything you want at the baseball game."
Sold?
Anything.
I said, "Sold." So I spoke like Borat for the rest of the night. Logan ended up
He had
having
to do it till midnight, and this was 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
He did it until like 1:30.
Logan had a friend come over. Well, she was friends with Megan, but Logan knew her through EMU. She was a trainer, so Logan had used her as a trainer. Megan knew her from training stuff. But she came over, and it was her first time ever meeting me. So when she got there, I was already talking Borat. She literally, when midnight
Jim did
hit,
not break.
when midnight hit, I remember her looking at me and going, "Oh my God, it's midnight. I get to finally hear what your voice sounds like." And I looked at her dead in her soul, and I went, "Very nice."
It's funny as shit.
Dude, that's where like a lot of people, some people get it on Xbox Live. My Xbox name is Barry Nice. Barry X Nice.
Yeah.
And they're like, very nice. I'm like, I'm glad you get it, buddy. I named it that like years ago.
Do you remember the Tourette's guy?
Dude.
My brother's name on the PC
Yes.
is "What do you mean a bird?" And like for the average person, they're like, "What?"
Yeah,
But then if you know the Tourette's guy, he's like, "What do you mean a bird?" Oh, I can't say a lot of stuff he says probably, but it's a lot of cursing, a lot of funny stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can say whatever. We can edit out.
Have you seriously never seen the Tourette's guy?
I don't think so.
Funny guy on YouTube. I don't know if it was ever staged or anything like that. Like it might have been, but it was early years of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But it was his son that would always film him, and supposedly he had Tourette's, and he would always say, just,
The son had Tourette's.
No, the dad. The dad had
okay.
Tourette's. The son would film it. It was always outlandish shit. He'd always be like, "Oh, Bob Saget," and stuff like that. But I remember
The Bob Saget.
Oh,
that
Bob
was a big
Saget.
one. That was a big one.
one was he's wearing a white shirt, and it's got a stain here, and like right there. So it's sweat stains.
Mm-hmm.
And his son goes, "Dad, I really love your Mickey Mouse shirt." And he goes, "What the fuck are you talking about? That's just tit dirt." Like, it was just the most random stuff, but it was so funny all the time. But one of them is his son walks in the room. He goes,
Bob
he goes, "Dad, there's a bird in the house." And he goes, "What do you mean a bird?" He's like a bird, and then a bird just flies through their living room, and his dad's like, "Oh shit, oh fuck," He's trying to get it out. It's just funny little YouTube clips from back in the day.
That's fun.
So YouTube is where honestly we do the best. I forget about YouTube. I post on YouTube.
I did not
post
know
on-
that.
Yeah, I posted on YouTube last night. We need to start posting the whole thing.
Yeah.
That would be good for YouTube. Post the whole thing. TikToks, you got your shorts. And
Yep,
then you got obviously Apple Music and Spotify.
Well, it makes it tough when you're trying to like edit the whole. So it's just a pain because if you edit just for the TikTok, then you just edit this one chunk of the whole thing. If you edit the whole thing, it takes you like 3+ hours because you have to like listen, go back to where you can plug something in or take something out, and then you gotta hit play, make sure it's good, then you keep going, and then you keep backing up. Like you're going backwards more than you are forwards.
Yes, you are, and that's the hard thing. Like having podcasts is very fun, and if you have a clip that blows up and you get a bunch of comments, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
but
some of those comments are mean.
Some of them are mean. But
There's
fuck
some
them.
mean people out there.
I ain't worried
Dude,
about
fuck them.
I try to
Dude,
like every video and try to give a funny
There
comment.
was one dude that commented. It was a video that blew up, obviously, because they got on his For You page. He was like, we need to take away
I saw that.
podcasting.
That's the one I saw, and I was like, "What the hell's this guy's problem?" Like,
It-
other people obviously liked it for you to see it.
And Logan was
Dude, my
like, dude,
sister
don't
posted-
comment back. Is that hurt? I was like, no, fuck him. I was like,
didn't
dude,
say
fuck
that.
that guy.
yeah, I mean,
I didn't say that.
You did.
I don't give a shit. I was like that.
buddy in the
no,
comments.
What I said.
Logan.
No,
Phelps.
what
Dude.
I said. Hey, just message back and say, "Listen here, fucker. Go buy your own shit and start your own and figure it out yourself." And
I mean,
But I
it
can
doesn't.
see
matter.
what-
Everybody's going to hate. Everybody's going to hate.
Rick came back with like, "Thank you for the comment" or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
that's
very very
PC.
nice.
It was.
But that's the thing is if you're trying
what
to
is this?
if you're trying to
2018 South Park, trying to be all PC and shit.
yeah, if you're trying to build something like a podcast, you don't want to give anybody ammunition.
Exactly.
And to be honest, the easiest way to get rid of a hater is to not fucking acknowledge them.
I think the
and if you're
easiest
just
way-
like, "Oh, thank you,"
Or-
they're like, "Oh my
No.
god, this
or
guy."
it could reverse. If you do acknowledge it, which I did, I said, dude, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I actually questioned whether we should have bought 2 mics and 2 A-arms and set up a whole podcast studio.
yeah.
Because honestly, it's a waste of time. You're right. You know, it's
I
a
like
waste
it.
of time.
I enjoy wasting time.
I got one more thing I want to touch on because I think it's pretty interesting, and we never talked about it before in my life. We used to play this Can You Guess, right? The top 5.
Well, and I love trivia, and
Okay.
I go to trivia every Wednesday. All right, I
Do you
love
really?
City Tavern. He knows it. Some of the best
interesting.
wings in South Carolina.
Okay.
They
Best
got
wings.
some of the best wings,
I wish I would've went there.
They've got a wall of liquor slushies.
What's your thing?
Like it's like Everclear slushies and
Okay.
vodka slushies.
They fuck you up.
They do.
Yeah, we
'cause
would have
they
gone
taste
if you were
pretty
there
good.
longer. And, 12
But
hours.
next time you come down, we'll go there. But yeah, so I do trivia. So like stuff like this, guess the 5 cities of pizza. I remember you guys did something like that. Like that stuff's fun to me. I like to. I watch y'all's videos and I sit there. I'm not gonna lie. I think we all know when you watch TikToks, So I'm sitting there and I
Taking
play
a
along.
shit.
I didn't say it.
I
He
love
said it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Who did you think was really going to win this election?
I honestly thought it was going to be Trump.
Really?
Just because I think a lot of people are ready for a woman president, but it wasn't Kamala, and it definitely wasn't going to be Hillary. Like, I was telling people at work, if it was Michelle Obama versus Trump, Michelle would have won. Landslide.
Yeah.
Like, I think people are ready for a woman president. It's just Kamala was not that girl.
They just had to have
and
a
Clinton
strong.
was definitely not that girl.
They just have a strong. I'm not saying that.
And I'm not saying it's a sexist thing.
Yeah,
I mean, if
but you're right. You're right.
Biden,
they have to be a strong woman
if,
figure.
If Biden ran again, I think Trump still would have won.
Well, it's like when the Republicans
I
put
don't
in
know.
Palin, it was the same thing. Like, I think people were ready for a woman, but I don't think she was quite the right one to do it.
Do you know who I think the first woman president is going to be? Tulsi Gabbard. I really do. A conservative woman.
Yeah. Well, see, there's a clip circulating. I believe it was Reagan. So this is back in the 80s.
Reagan swept the country. He lost one state.
And if it wasn't Reagan, it was Carter. I can't remember between the two of them, but one of them said, someone was asked,
I think
when is there going to be a woman president? And he said, I'll be honest with you, what's going to happen for a woman to become president for the first time? It's there going to be a vice president, and the president's going to die in office. And that almost happened. You know, that Biden was getting up there in age.
There's
I'm
a
not
couple
saying,
scares, yeah.
like, he was getting up there in age.
Well,
Something could have happened.
There's a couple of conspiracies that Biden's really not Biden. And if you really did look back at the
There's a lot
pictures,
for that,
he
yeah.
does look different.
Well, I mean,
He
if you
does.
look
And
at
the ear thing. Have y'all seen the ear thing?
I saw the ear
With
thing.
the connected ear and.
well, if you look up,
But he's also 40 years old. Like, people are comparing pictures of Biden in, like, 2004 till now.
Yeah.
And I know it's only 20 years, but 20 years in
20 years is a lot.
politics, 20 years in politics, that's like 65
lot.
years
and he was
to
a
you.
vice president twice.
You saw how old Obama looked
Dude,
after
that's what I was about to
8
say.
years?
Yeah, 8 years. It was like 16 or
Dude,
20 years.
he came in very very
we
good
were
looking,
just-
Very
young.
young, dark hair, everything.
We
and
were
then by the
just
time he left,
talking-
white hair, like, just looked like tired. Now he looks good again.
As you
Yeah.
should. I mean, like you're running a fucking
But I mean,
the best country in the world.
You talked about, we had the reunion just the other day. I felt like pretty much everybody looked the same. I recognized pretty much, as soon as they walked in, I was like, oh, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. I mean, yeah, me in high school, I had a mohawk, so now I've got this long
In
hair. It's a little different.
every yearbook picture, he had a mohawk.
Well,
I was
look,
showing my
look,
wife,
if you
and
play-
she saw the first one, laughed. Saw the second one, laughed again. Saw the third one, laughed harder. Saw the fourth one. She's like, "Are you kidding me?"
If you play football, you have to have a mohawk.
Well,
That's
we
the rules.
can
I
have the
don't make the
conversation
rules.
offline, but I think I think you can definitely see people aging.
I don't know. For the
What,
most
at the
part, I
10-year
felt
thing?
like
Oh,
I felt like
God,
everyone at the
Well,
10-year thing.
yeah, but
I
I
thought
mean,
we still looked relatively the
But
same.
it's not like we
But I'm saying compare that to Obama after 8 years.
it's not like
no
we
one
look
changed
bad.
that much.
I think this is really arrogant. I might cut it out. I think I look better now than I ever did.
oh, it's true. Ever since you got your face fixed
Well,
in that wreck,
I'm about to say senior
I
year.
showed Larry
Yeah.
the picture.
Senior
She's
year,
like,
your
"Was this
face was a
before?
little.
Was this before or after the wreck?" I was like, "This was before."
Yeah, yeah. So there's people like me that look better than before, but a lot of people like I'm not saying they look bad. You can just definitely tell that they're older.
High school,
in
like,
5th grade.
I could grow a beard, but it wasn't this in high school. So like, I think this makes me look better because it hides.
It
my
does.
Ugly.
It does.
Yeah,
It
it hides
does.
the ugly.
Logan is. We look at a
Logan-
picture of him in high
Logan-
school.
I looked like
called
a
out for
cancer
my beard
patient.
being beautiful, and if it wasn't for my beard, I'd be like a 1. I'm like, "You motherfucker."
Oh my
Logan-
God.
Logan looked like a cancer patient in high school.
Oh my god, yes, it did.
I had a chin strap starting 10th grade, and then
I
it
went
started
through that
getting
phase. It was bad.
there. I was one of the ones with like a decent
bad.
beard to start. It wasn't a Tucker beard.
Yeah.
It was bad. I can definitely tell a lot of people have aged.
Yeah, but you got to think about too is like theoretically men grow until they're 26, and we're all pushing 30 now. Then you have like women. I think they might also be 26, but they grow differently than us at that point. Like start getting your baby weight or baby hips and all that stuff, and then I don't know who all. There's a couple kids there, and a couple of them I do know that have kids, but like other ones you're like. Maybe you did have a kid and I don't know it, and
was
like
like,
that's gonna age you too.
I don't have a kid, but I kept my baby weight. That's for sure. I gotten a tad bigger since high school.
All right, well, let's end it with the
happens.
trivia.
Let's do
All
the
right.
trivia.
The top
New
five
Mexico.
careers that are most likely to cheat. Can you
On a
guess it?
spouse.
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, what do you mean by cheat? Okay.
So
Most likely to cheat on a spouse. I'm going to go ahead and go with doctor. I've seen Grey's Anatomy 1,000 times.
Not on it.
Wow.
Not on top 5.
lawyer.
Not on top
He does
5.
watch
Wow.
sleep. Okay.
It's a tough one.
What about like a CEO?
Is it like very specific? I was gonna say, is it specific or like the CEO covered, or like
No,
you have to be like
it-
a bank manager? Like,
It's not that. It's not that specific.
okay, most likely to cheat. It's not a doctor or a lawyer. Like I figured that was like 1, 2 for sure.
Two of them
Family Feud
are
style.
like first responders.
Oh, police officers, 100%. Because not gonna say any names. I got a buddy in South Carolina that got caught.
Yeah, he's the one supposed to take us
Police
on the boat.
officers number
He
4.
was the one that was supposed to take us on the boat. Yeah.
Police officer number 4.
Fire department.
like-
Firefighter is number 5.
Yeah, because my coworker
That's
said
wild.
that his chief piped his old lady when they were. Yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
so we both have connections there. All right.
Y'all missing 1 through 3.
All right. I mean, would the food industry be on there? He's
Bartender?
a bartender.
Bartender is number 3.
Okay. All right.
Yep, bartender's
'Cause
number 3.
I was also
That
thinking
makes
like
sense.
I was thinking waitresses because a lot of waitresses they're young, young
I was gonna
young
say-
people make dumb mistakes.
And bartenders, they are along those lines, but yeah.
Well, also bartenders, you're going to flirt more
To
Yes.
get more.
to sell more.
Yeah.
That's
What-
part
what-
of the game.
That
I mean,
and
sometimes I guess
you're
stuff
getting
could
flirted
happen.
with more because you got drunk
Because
people.
they're drunk.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
I'm gonna throw this out there. What about teachers?
I think it was top 10, but it's not top 5.
Oh, I was gonna say
I'm
hashtag
about to
We're
say-
saying
RAD.
top 5.
RAD.
Hashtag PTA. Those PTA
So
meetings
you're
are
looking
getting hot.
think
Electrical salespeople.
so when you
Yeah, it's just sales in general.
I would give it away. I would give it away if I said this. But say
Well, you didn't say athletes. Are athletes on there?
say we're going on vacation.
You're like, you said talking about like tour guides? Is that? I'm saying there's no
Like
way
a
that'd
hotel
be
worker?
pretty specific. Maids, dude, I've seen some videos with maids.
No.
Whores.
When you go
What-
on
what
vac-
do you-
100%. I know this one because I'm friends with some flight attendants. Flight attendants and pilots. They
Flight
sleep around
attendants and
all the
pilots.
time.
Number 1.
I
Number
forgot
one.
about that. I totally forgot. They told me that straight up. They get hotel rooms and they just have like big swinger parties all the time. I don't
Number
know why I didn't
2.
think of that.
Number 2 is one of our best friends was
Military,
military. Number 2.
military, 100%.
Military's
Yeah.
number 2.
Yeah,
Isn't that wild?
I mean,
The first couple makes sense to me,
Yeah.
but the other I'm like,
I really thought. I mean, Grey's Anatomy was lying to me. I really thought I wanted to be a doctor just for that reason. You know?
cheat.
Not the cheat, just for all the sex all the time. I mean, damn, it was every episode.
I would never be married if I was a surgeon.
I mean, damn.
Well, you think about the cops and firefighters, like they work together closely all the time, so it's almost like setting it up,
Think
and
about
then they just become
doing
like
a-
a confidant at
doing
some
a
point.
sting, sitting in a car for 2 weeks.
Jim, it was fun. Let's get inside.
Yeah, let's
Let's get inside. It's getting cold. Yeah. Are you getting cold?
I mean,
getting
I'm
cold a bit.
not cold, but I'm not warm.
Well, boys, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm glad I could make it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um,
Can you cut it off?
yes. Come down to South Carolina. We'll do a travel
Logan?
podcast.
That is.